Hello and welcome to this video on stealth missions, stealth characters. No, not on stealth characters. This is not a video on how to make a stealthy character. This is a video on how to make your character stealthy. Now, what this is in relation to is yesterday the GMs were shown how to run a stealth mission for any type of party member. Which means that you, yes, you, the paladins, the warriors, the shouters, the shooters, the loud noise-making people, they were shown how to make stealth missions for you. Which means that you need to learn how to create a character who is smart enough that when they're trying to actually do something sneaky or stealthy, that they do actually try to do something sneaky or stealthy. What do I mean by all of this? Let me take a step back. Your character is not a rogue, is not a thief, is not a cat burglar, has very little skills in terms of infiltration, and generally just shoots things with a giant weapon of some kind, or hits it very hard until the enemy stops moving. So when a stealth mission comes along, you immediately kind of roll your eyes and go, well, I'll stand at the back because I'm going to make a noise. That's the wrong approach to have. And let me tell you, when I was stealthing through the jungles of Africa, which I actually did for a year as a wildlife cameraman, so I can tell you, when I stealthed through the jungles of Africa, it didn't matter whether you were a larger individual or whether you were a nimble tracker or a predatory hunter. You made damn sure that you were as sneaky as possible. And part of that involved getting into the mindset. So we are looking now at how to get your character and yourself by de facto into the mindset of a stealth mission, even if you are not particularly stealthy. How do we do that? Well, you need to find your role within the party. If you are the warrior, that is your usual role, is to hit and protect the party. If you are the healer, that is your usual role. If you are the rogue, that is your usual role. In a stealth mission, however, those roles change. The great warrior who wants to shoot everything with his disruptor rifle, or the great healer who wants to summon up powers of light and divine energy to heal her fallen comrades, using those all-important verbal spells. You need to change your tactic. And by that I mean, you need to step back and say, well, during a stealth mission, I can't do what I would normally do. So what can I do? In the case of the bulky warriors who usually have good physical strength, abilities, can lift things, can move things, that kind of thing. It's about selecting quiet weapons. It's also about disabling enemies rather than killing them outright. And it's about focusing on those things rather than just on killing things. So as the sneaky little character disappears off into the darkness, it is your heavy-hitting individual who is going to quietly stand there and wait. If there is an alarm raised, they will use their bludgeoning weapon, a quiet weapon, to hit the character in the throat or in the mouth or in the back of the head to prevent them from alerting anybody else. So your focus becomes a lot different. Again, as the healer, you're not going to be casting healing spells all the time. That's a verbal spell is a verbal spell. If you have to iterate something, you have to iterate something. You can't really do it under your breath. Maybe you can, depending on your GM. So you've also got to look at it and say, well, I need to prepare perhaps more healing poultices. Or perhaps healing is just not the role for me. Maybe I need to be a decoy. I can heal myself, sure as nuts, but my party could slip by unnoticed. So rethinking your role within the party becomes imperative when you are doing a stealth mission. The next thing is that you need to actually be stealthy. Now, I'm not saying you need to have great roles, because you're not going to have great roles. That's not your role within the party in general. Your role is not to be stealthy. However, I have seen it time and time and time again. The big heavy armored warrior saying, well, I can't be stealthy, I'm wearing plate mail. And you can't take it off? No, I can't take it off. What if we get into combat? Well, you'd only get into combat if someone heard you and they'd only hear you because you're wearing plate mail. Take the plate mail off, no combat, no need for the plate mail. That reduces all of your penalties for wearing plate mail. No clinking, no creaking, no shiny reflective surfaces in the dim light. Players, generally speaking, don't take off their equipment when they're trying to be stealthy. If you've got time to plan, are you covering yourself with black ochre on the face? Are you wearing dark grey clothing? Have you put woolen pads on the underside of your hobnailed boots? Have you made sure that the rope that you're carrying is silken rope so that it's nice and light? Have you made sure that you've got a grappling hook so that you can hang from a wall rather than try and just kill the guard who's looking over it? Have you got caltrops that you can sneak away? Have you got sleeping powder? Did you even try to get sleeping powder? Do you have a marble that you can roll over the floor to cause a noise over there to distract the guards to go and have an investigative look whilst you sneak around the corner? Oftentimes, players will approach the stealth mission going, oh, it's for the rogue, it's not for us. No, you go ahead, we'll wait, you give us the all clear, we'll come through. That's the wrong approach to have. You've got to look at how you can make your character work in that stealth mission. Now, you also need to realize that you don't have to rush. You can take it slow. If you're leaving a line of guards dead behind you, again, you're not being stealthy. Knock them out, find a broom cupboard, and put them in there. That's what broom cupboards are for. And possibly brooms. So the idea is to not look at a stealth mission as being something for just the one character type. It's about looking at how your character would approach a stealth-like mission. Think of it as if you were tasked as the player to be sneaky. What would you do? How would you do it? Even though perhaps you are like me, in which case stealth is not an option. I had to learn very, very quickly that I had to move very, very slowly in order to maintain a quiet noise whilst out in those jungles of Africa. So look at stealth missions no longer as just that option of not being able to participate. There's one last thing that you can do during a stealth mission which is important in my opinion. The rogue is out there looking for traps and doors and ways to move around without making a noise. And you are too, to a large degree. However, there might be downtime whilst the rogue is busy doing some trap picking or whatever the case might be. What is your character doing? Scratching the head, scratching the nose, scratching the ear? That's a waste of your energy. Rather, have the character examine things. Try and learn as much as you can about the environment. Put your GM to the test. The stonework. Does it look recent? No. Oh, it's ancient. Oh, if it's ancient, does it look human? Does it look dwarvish? Is it elvish? What's in those barrels that we passed? So you can explore the environment far more than you might if you were just going through a dungeon fulfilling your usual role of killing everything, or magicking everything, or shooting everything. So it gives you the opportunity to learn more about the story that you're in because of the environment that you're in. If there's a mural, whilst the thief is doing their thing, say to the GM, I examine the mural. Well, if you've got a higher history check or a local knowledge check or a arcane lore percentile check or whatever it might be, you might just gather information which you wouldn't normally have got if you were doing your usual party role. So there's a great opportunity in stealth missions for you to explore your character's capabilities as well as to actually explore the surroundings while supporting the rogue. And how often have you actually supported the rogue on one of those missions rather than just let them go off on their own? Have you come up with some kind of diversion plan in case the rogue is the only one who can get through and the party is doomed to get captured? Have you got an escape plan? All of those kind of things you can focus on, whilst the person who is doing all the sneaking and stealthing is busy doing all the sneaking and stealthing. Something to think about. Anyway, if you found this useful, if you think you have more to contribute to the conversation, and I'm sure there is much, much more that can be contributed, leave comments below so we can read them and all learn from them. Until next time, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to join us as we grow ever steadily more and more and more people, which means that hopefully more and more people are having more and more fun whilst role-playing. And until next time, I wish you and yours the very happiest of gaming.